Hey, what's up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Basking Broodscale. I was going to say Eldrazi Ramp, but no, this is Broodscale, Basking Broodscale on the draw for game one. I was about to say, I kind of want an Eldrazi temple. Let's see if we find one. Ancient Stirrings. In that case, I'll Stirrings on one. There's our temple we were looking for. So this allows us to go into Flesh Rake and potentially go for the win on turn 3. Let's see what we're up against. Is it a bit of a mirror match, or is it Eldrazi Ramp, Eldrazi Tron? 'Tis the question. Looks like it's Eldrazi Tron with talismans, so mono green most likely. Malevolent Rumble. Let's go with Flesh Rake. It'd be a bit unfortunate if they do play Karn and I didn't have a beater on field to deal with it, so let's make sure we get Flesh Rake. And then if I draw into a land, I believe I win. Because, yeah, Broodscale, Blade. So, yeah, I do need a land specifically here. 6 for a Mycospawn. That would kind of suck, so I definitely need some lands here. Thankfully, you can start generating some mana between the Blade and Soul Guide off of the Flesh Rake. But them kicking the Eldrazi Temple does make this a bit rough, admittedly. There's tower, draw, another temple. Okay, so if we play the Broodscale, we make a spawn, but we can't do anything after that because it's mana neutral. So the thought process here would be to play a Flesh Rake. Trigger. So now this Soul Guide Lantern is going to be mana positive. Yep. This Blade of the Blood Chief is mana positive. Okay. We can K command, which would also be mana positive. Is there a major benefit to doing so? We can K command X equals 1. That would then generate 3, and that would be, I believe, 6 damage. I mean, there's a world where we do win this turn if I go down that route. Interesting thought. I also could... We'd specifically need another Might, wouldn't we? X equals 1 would be mana neutral. So yeah, let's actually do this. I'm gonna go for the kill. X equals 1, scry draw. Always yield. K command on top. Trigger, and K command will seal it. GG's. Yeah, double Flesh Raker is good. Who would have thunk? And done. And done. Alright, solid win against Eldrazi Tron. So for Eldrazi Tron, we are going to want Thief of Existence, Dismember, Pithy Needle, Damp Sphere. You could argue Wasescape. We can cut to Ballista, Flesh Rake. Might's kind of meh here. Soul Guide's doing nothing. Vexing Bobble's doing nothing. I did cut Traverse. We could cut a Rumble. I'm also not entirely certain about Dismember. Dismember would be mainly for TKS, or try and clear the way to attack Karn, I suppose. So we could instead cut Dismember, or I could cut Devourer. If I were to do either or, we could bring in the Wastecape Battle Mage. Wastecape Battle Mage is tempting, admittedly. Because it does clear out, let's say, liquid metal coating or a needle effect. So that could be a consideration. Just doesn't deal well with Karn, but that's why I had the Thief. Devourer is a little bit meh here. So maybe we cut the Devourer. And maybe we bring back in Haywire Mite. Thing is, Haywire Mite's kind of hit or miss. So maybe we bring in a second Ballista. Yeah, let's run it like this. There's Damp Sphere, there's E-Temp, Dismember. We don't really have much in the way of pieces, though. We have ways to disrupt, so give and take on this hand. I'll keep pass and full. Mulligan's the 5. That is promising. Mulligan's the 4. That's unfortunate. So, yeah, if they start assembling Tron, we have Damp Sphere. Otherwise, we'll probably just go in on Malevolent Rumble here. Alright, Temple. And draw Halfling. In that case, Scarplusa. Halfling. And pass. And pass. Talisman. Draw. So they have a soul land here. They will be able to cast a kicked Myco. So I'm thinking we go E-Temp Rumble. Rumble. And there's a Thief, there's a Blade. That would just mean we need a... whatchamacallit? Broodscale. But if they have a Karn, that could be a bit annoying. So I'm tempted to go for the Thief, honestly, but we'll go for the Blade and try and high roll it. And Damp Sphere. And pass. And pass. So no kicked Myco spawn. Unkicked sure, kicked no. Paying cost for Talisman. And then passing. And draw. Another Halfling. Not ideal. I'll just cast Ballista X2 and pass. And hold. Paying cost for. So a Myco spawn, non-kicked, yep. There's a mine. No, 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 friend. You can't play anything else this turn. Draw. Oh, there's the Broodscale. So in that case, can we get the win? So I can cast Broodscale, cast Blade, but the Damp Sphere actually stops me from winning. So in that case, Yeah, that actually is unfortunate. It does technically hurt me there. So yeah, Broodscale, cast Blade, but no equip. So in that case, I'm going to cast the Blade of the Blood Chief. I'm going to equip the Blade. I'm going to dismember the Myco. Myco's down, Blade will trigger. Always yield. And go to combat. Swing for 3. And we'll hold up the Blade to respond. There's another mine. 2 in hand. There's a map. That's fine. Do you have anything else? You do not. A second Blade. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to cast Broodscale. And does opponents scoop it up? If they have interaction, they will be forced to play it. I will attempt to equip Blade to Broodscale. They can crack map if they have the Sage. So what they might just do here is hit Blade with Beseiju, which is fine. Because we do have a backup Blade. Though I will only have 2 mana, so I can play the Blade, but I can't equip the Blade, actually. It's a bit of a downside there. Yep, Beseiju hits Blade. Alright. I'll grab a Forest. No reason to play the Blade, then. In that case, I'm just going to play a Halfling. And go to combat, swing for 3. And pass. 2 cards in hand. What you got, friend? Imagine you wanted that Dam Sphere, or the Beseiju for the Dam Sphere. A Karn here wouldn't be enough. We can take down Karn, no problem. Karn minus for what? Karn is looking for... I'm trying to think. Bridge? You don't have enough mana. So your thought is, or at least they're hoping that they don't lose. Draw. Ancient Stirrings, no reason to do anything with that. I'm going to go to combat. We're going to swing both Ballista and Broodscale at Karn. No reason to attack with Halfling, I don't think. Keep them back. Karn's down. Cast Blade of the Blood Chief. Equip Blade of the Blood Chief. And make a spawn. And both scoops down. Alright, solid win against the Eldrazi Tron. We'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep Reveal Devourer and pass. So we're going to play Halfling into Flesh Rake, DRC Rakdos colors. Huh, well there's Blade of the Blood Chief, we want that. Play Beseiju Halfling and pass. Opponent's thinking here. I mean, I don't think they have anything that would be able to kill the Halfling for free. Rakdos with DRC, I guess could be Hollow One. I'm be the first time. I guess it could also be Grixis Death Shadow. That's a thought. Blood Crypt Shock, DRC, DRC into what? Unholy Heat. Alright, that is unfortunate, but I'd rather Unholy Heat be going after a halfling than the Flesh Rake, admittedly. DRC's online. Draw. Another halfling. I will cast the Flesh Rake. And pass. And pass. Now, right now we're looking for Broodscale. Do you have another Unholy Heat? Oh, of course you do. Surveil. So it looks like Delirium between Tarfire and FOMO. Rakdos, Delirium, Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf is quite big. Draw. Karplusin. Let's fire off the Ancient Stirrings first. Again, we're looking for the Basking Broodscale at this point. So that is exactly 11. So I need to grab the Broodscale here. Play the Karplusin. I will play the Halfling as a blocker for the Nethergoyf. And we'll preemptively play the Blade, and I'll pass. I will need a land. If we do find another land off top, we can play our Emrakul and our Broodscale. Actually, we can play our entire hand. So yeah, I just need a land off top at this point. Because yeah, that's 16, so I have to block the Nethergoyf, unless do they have interaction. Bloodstained Mire, 2 hand, fetch to 14. Theater, Surveil. Mishra's Bauble to Yard. Paying cost 4. Guess they can make another Nethergoyf, or bring out another Nethergoyf. Will that shrink the other Nethergoyf though? Probably, right? Yep, so we're forced to block, because again, 3, 6, 12, I'm at 10. 6, down to 4, trigger Blade. And draw. That sucks. Without the additional land here, I think we lose, correct? Because I can cast Broodscale, I can adapt. So we have 2 blockers, but both of them are flying. I can cast the Broodscale, I can equip, but we have no way to then trigger the Blade. So in that case, I will concede. Unfortunate. So this is Rakdos Delirium. Yeah, it kind of seems that way. So in that case, probably don't want Haywire Mite. Not sure we want Vexing Bauble. Fire Spout's a consideration. Yeah, that is an idea. Could also consider Dismember. If we went Dismember for more interaction, we could go like this. Yeah, let's run it back like this. See how it goes. Unfortunately, this is not a matchup I'm all too familiar with, so gonna be a little bit awkward sideboarding for it, I think. We also have to wonder what their sideboard plan is. So it's possible they might have some artifact hate in the way of like Disruptor Flute or Pithy Needle. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. On the play for game 2, I will keep... I mean, we could go for the Basking Broodscale off the bat here. I think I might go with Karplusin into Stirrings, though, given that they do have a decent amount of removal. Stirrings. It's a bit rough, honestly. I'll take the command. I was hoping to see maybe Blade or maybe a Soul Hand, but I'll take the command. We'll pass. Blood Crypt Shock
for a DRC. I'd love an E-temp for a K Command X1. Draw. Rumble. Urza Saga trigger. And rumble. There's the Blade of the Blood Chief you're looking for. Though there is some thought to actually going for a second Broodscale. I think that might be better in retrospect. Alright. Because this way we can use the first Broodscale as bait. Marsh Flats Fetch, 17. Swamp. Unholy Heat. Not much I can do about that. Surveil trigger. 2 types in yard. Yep. And Cecil. Okay. Take 1. And draw. Trigger. So, honestly, I'm kind of considering going Fire Spout here. Alternatively, I can K command and make a spawn. That way we can actually go off next turn. K command would be nice as the payout, though. So the next option, of course, is that we play Fire Spout, clear the board. I think that might not be a bad idea, honestly. Actually, I need red, don't I? Not green. I need to confirm here. Creatures without flying, yes, so I need red. And done. And pass and full. So their board's cleared. And pass. 4 types in yard. FOMO. Discards a Detective's Phoenix. Okay. Draw. Trigger. Float. I can cast Broodscale. I can equip, but I can't do anything after that. So we'll float. We'll grab Blade. So Blade of the Blood Chief. Play Karplusin. And I will K command. Ramp and exile. And done. FOMO down. And pass. I'll hold. Next turn we can go off of Broodscale. Another FOMO. If they don't have another land, then we have Devour or an Emrakul. Trespasser? Okay, this looks pretty straightforward then. So in that case, I will cast a Basking Broodscale. And Bone scoops it up. Alright. I'll take the win for game 2. And we'll want the gemstone back. The Fire Spout seems good. Dismember seems good. Soul Guide Lantern seems good. Maybe cut a Devourer then. Either that or a Rumble. I think I actually could argue a Rumble here, since we're no longer playing Traverse. I'll run it back like this. I mean, this looks good. I'll keep. I'll pass. Again, you might just sandbag the Saga a turn. Draw. Stirrings. Yep, that works out. Go Ancient Stirrings. I'd love to see a Soul Land there. I'll take the K command again, though. And pass. And pass. 5 in hand. That's fetched down to 17. Blood Crypt Shock to 15 for a FOMO. ERC and Thoughtseize. Yes. I mean, I think Thoughtseizing Fleshrake or K command's probably correct here. The Broodscale is redundant, so yeah, that makes sense to me. Take 1, down to 19, draw. Saga trigger. Well, I now know about the redundancy. Play the Broodscale, and I'll pass. And pass. Unholy Heat. Yep, that's fine. We get them out. Get it out of their system now. Cecil to Yard. So they'll have Delirium. So we're at 13. Theater, 2 in hand. I think we just play the Flesh Rake then. Another Goif to Yard. Drum. Excuse me. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think we play the Flesh Rake as a lightning rod here. Pass. And pass. Okay, that's potentially promising. They know about the other Broodscale, though. We'll take 6 down to 7. I mean, if you don't have interaction, we win here. Trigger. Float. Blade of the Blood Chief. Cast a Springleaf Drum trigger. Paying cost. Ooh. Yeah, that will do it. So, Blade and Flesh Raker down. That is unfortunate. Yeah, nothing I can do about that at instant speed. In that case, play the Clusen, play the Broodscale, and I might as well adapt now. So, green, colorless, adapt, always yes, always yield. So the problem now is, of course, that opponent will put me down to 1. We'll pass. So I need a blade off top. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Emrakul would also be good, though they're hasting something in. Graveyard Trespasser, which even by the ETB alone just wins them the game. Yep, unfortunate. Alright, well, they got the win. I will just let it go through. And they got it. Alright, well, we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep. We're looking for a Broodscale off the top here. Let's see what puts on. Saga. Is it going to be Titan? Hard to say. There's Halfling. Let's play Halfling. And pass. We can get rid of the Saga next turn with Might. Alright, Saga trigger. And what we looking at? Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool Saga. What? Rumble. Huh. Grabs Tamio? What am I playing against? Cookbook. Weird. Springleaf Drum. So, Saga trigger. Haywire Mite. Springleaf Drum. Green, tap Mite, Saga. And then go to combat. Swing for 1. Down to 17. That will set them back, thankfully. Asmo Cookbook Unearth. I have no clue what I'm playing against right now. I'll be real. What in the fresh hell? So I'm wondering if we just make constructs. There's Tameo, 4 in hand, draw. Another halfling, trigger, play halfling, play grove. No reason to attack, I'll pass. Fetch Verdant Cat, spend 16. Surveil. So this is Sultai with Unearth and Cookbook. Oval Chaser? Oval Chaser. Okay. Weird. Sultai, Cookbook, Tameo, Rumble on Earth. I'm trying to figure it out here. Looted Delta. Fetch. Swamp. Oh. Interesting. If you were to create a clue, food or treasure, instead create one of each. I see. Okay. Attack of Tameo, you make a clue, which makes you a food and treasure. Ooh. You can do it again with Oval Chaser. Create a food, which makes a clue and treasure. Triggers Oval Chaser 3 times. Yep. So what's the end goal, though? Obviously, they're going to use all this for something. Time Sieve? Okay. Okay, sure. That is a thing you can do. Huh. Oh, and that doesn't sacrifice itself. Oh. Oh, I'm in danger. So, at this point, they can make of clue, food, and treasure twice every turn. So that's 6 every turn. So they have infinite turns. Huh. Well, yeah, I suppose I'll just concede. What? All right. Well, that surely was unexpected. So Wastegate Battle Mage, Dismember Thief Needle, Soul Guide, Bauble out, Gemstone out, 2 Ballista Flesh Rake. Did we just cut all 3 Devourer, bring in the second Ballista? Do that. Okay. This is interesting. So basically they just at that point have infinite turns. Huh. They eventually get enough clues and then mana to flip the Tamiyo. They draw their deck. They find their win con. Fascinating. Very, very fascinating. I'm not sure how I interact with that all too much. Also completely forgot Time Sieve was even a card. Because, yeah, when has that ever seen play? That's wild to me. Huh. Interesting. So what's my game plan here? I mean, we could Pit the Needle Time Sieve. And that's their main finisher. I mean, it's not a main finisher, but it's their bridge. On the play, I mean, we're missing a green source, right? I'll take it. So, there's actually an idea to play the Saga first. But I'm gonna play it a little bit more carefully, play the Blade and pass. And pass. Well, I need a green source, bottom line. Breeding Pool, shock for Tamiyo. Or not? I mean, imagine they brought in Consign, Gilded Goose. I'll bolt the bird. Mox Opal, Bauble, and then Tamiyo? Son of a cookbook. Oh my god. Alright. Bit excessive, don't you think? 3 cards in hand. I mean, if I got a green source right now, would I take out the Opal or the cookbook? Well, I got my green source, funny enough. So we could take out the Opal, which gets rid of permanent mana. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Get rid of the Opal. Another thought was just to bolt the bird, play the halfling. There's the Old Chaser. So, one known card in hand. Bauble. Mishra's Bauble, yep. They'll draw an extra card. Otawara. Okay. There's the Manufactor. So we need to get rid of the Manufactor then. Cookbook. Yep, does its thing. They shouldn't have enough for Time Sieve, right? I don't think so. Blue, Tamiyo. Okay. So yeah, Manufactor is their bridge. You need to get rid of that first off and foremost. So Saga, trigger. Cast Halfling. Equip Blade to Wasescape. Dismember Manufactor. Always yield. And then let's go to combat. You know, the one card in hand is Oval Chaser. We'll pass. I just need a payoff. If I can find a payoff, I win. Actually, are we short? No, we need a... Yeah, we do actually need a bit more. Unfortunately. Because I can play the Broodscale. I can equip, but we have no way to trigger. Grabs a Asmo or an Urza Saga. Asmo would be a problem. Because they'll have 3 food. So they can just blow up anything I play. That's awkward. I mean, Saga can eventually get Pith. Choose Asmo. Food. Devil. Devil to hand, so we know 2 in hand, and I imagine they just play the Asmo then. Or not. And I'm fine if not. Yep, there's Asmo. Cookbook. Yep. So you can blow up my Wastegate if you really wanted. I'm not sure if it's necessary though. So we know 2 cards in hand. There's only 1 unknown. Surprised he didn't attack the Tameo though. I think that would have made sense. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to stop Asmo from activating, killing the Broodscale at instant speed. And draw Springleaf. Trigger. In that case, I will cast the Springleaf Drum. I will cast Delighted Halfling. I will go to combat. I'm actually going to say no. I'm going to hold it back. So yes, we can, with Saga, grab Needle to name Asmo if needed. You can also make a Construct, which will be a 3/3. Two unknowns in hand. One's a Cookbook, one's an Oval Chaser. Cookbook, Oval Chaser. Trigger Blade, that's 4 mana. Vraska. Oh, so they can pop the Blade with Vraska. Well, that's annoying. Yes. Yes, that will resolve. So we're going to want to attack Vraska down. The Asmo's still a problem, though. End step. And make a Saga token. It is a 2/2. Oh. Well, that becomes interesting. So we can name Asmo with Needle. How much mana do I have in total right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yes, I can go off of Broodscale. The problem is I have no payoffs. As long as Asmo has access to 2 food, though, they can kill anything on my board. In that case, I'll float Saga. Do you activate Asmo? Because if you activate Asmo now, then I will go for a second Blade and win. Because you have to be concerned about a needle. Alright, so we will have to go needle, naming Asmo. Asmo. Alright, so then I will play Basking Broodscale. Play Blade. Equip Blade to Broodscale. And then make a green source. We can just tap the Broodscale, realistically speaking. And then adapt. And then always yes, always yield. Okay, so next we need to go to combat. And we're going to attack at Vraska. I do want Vraska dead, so I will attack the Halfling as well. No matter what, Vraska will be down. And you will give me, unless you don't block, you won't give me a second spawn. And that's fine. So now we have 2 spawns. We know 2 cards in hand. There'll be 2 unknown. And that is okay. Alright, Vraska down. And at this point, I will pass. So you need interaction for Broodscale. We know you have a cookbook. We know you have an oval chaser. Do you have a time sieve? You do. So you'll have access to 5, but I'm pretty sure that means you'd have to sacrifice the cookbook, or at least a cookbook. Because you can oval chaser, that gets you to 4. Now I guess Tamia would get you to 5. And then cookbooks. Yeah, so you still need to sacrifice a cookbook for this. So you get a turn. You know you have oval chaser, we know you have cookbook, there's an unknown card. Oh. That does complicate things now, doesn't it? Because now you can get back Academy Manufactor. Oh, no. So I die. You attack of Tamio. That gets you to 5. I'll block the spawn. I mean, I have infinite spawns until you deal with Blade. Time Sieve. That sacrifices all the food and the clues. So the question then becomes whether or not you can get to Academy Manufactor. You know, there's a Oval Chaser and a book in hand. You can make at least 1 free artifact. I guess 2 if you include Emery and Mishra's Bauble. So I'll have at least 3. Potentially 4. So I have at least 4 artifacts. Book, food, Emery, Tamio, Time Sieve. So Time Sieve gets you 5. So is that enough though? Even if you're able to play the Manufactor, you'll get Manufactor Time Sieve plus 3. So you'll still have to sacrifice the Manufactor plus the Time Sieve. They get back a cookbook. Okay. Okay. So that's 2, 3, 4. Other cookbook is 5, 6. Yes. Underground Mort. That actually might be enough. Shoot. Then you can do other cookbook. Yep. And then you tap for Oval Chaser. Yep. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'd have to sacrifice all artifacts but Time Sieves. Or Time Sieve, rather. Okay, Tamio attacks. You'll get another turn of Time Sieve. But it requires you to sacrifice all of your artifacts but Time Sieve. So how do you find a way to progress? This is really close. And even if I get a turn, I'm not sure I even win is the problem. I need a payoff for the Broodscale. Or another blade. Yep, so they get another turn. Now down to 1 artifact. 2, 3. Now they could Emery go for Manufactor. Attack of Tamio, that will get them 5, but they would have to sacrifice the Time Sieve. You know, they have Oval Chaser in hand, and then 1 unknown. They can Emery for a book, that gets them 2, 3 with Time Sieve 4. I suppose with Gilded Goose it gets them 5, but again they have to sacrifice the Time Sieve. So I don't think that works either. Emery goes for book. Okay. They play book. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5 with goose. Spellbomb. Spellbomb can bounce something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now 5 artifacts for time sieve. You could always bounce the Broodscale as well, I suppose. Draw. Thief. So we can just simply thief the time sieve. Yes. So let's first go to attacks. Attack, attack, attack. You can return Broodscale to hand. Or not. Alright, trigger, Broodscale. In that case, I will tap a spawn for green and thief the time sieve. So you can sacrifice all of your artifacts to get an extra turn after this one. I don't think that actually works. Do you get 2 turns at that point? I forgot. But now if they want a turn, they need to sacrifice the sieve. Else the Emery can always bring it back. You know, they only have 1 card in hand, that's the Oval Chaser. Okay. So, no legal targets. And I'll hold. I should probably hold. So we know they have the Oval Chaser. You have a Manufactor. Okay. I'm gonna attack with Tamiyo, make a clue, food, and treasure. Okay. So now I have access to 2 mana with the Gilded Goose. Emery can grab back book. Okay. We know you have Oval Chaser. You make a food. Oval Chaser triggers. Sure. Oh, so they do get another turn. Okay. Oh, so now they win. Because now Emery brings back Time Sieve. Damn. Well, shit. Not much I can do about that now because they make, again, 6 per turn, so they have infinite turns. I will concede. I could make them burn the clock, but I'll just concede. Alright, well, unfortunate, but yeah, that was a strange one. I guess maybe the Soul Guide Lantern would have been good. I didn't see the Emery, of course. So that was difficult to say. Yeah, very, very interesting deck. Feels very clunky. I'm not sure how good it is, but it beat me at the very least. That being said, we'll be back for match 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4. On the play for game 1, I will keep this hand. So, we need a payoff is what we need. Thinking about going Ancient Stirrings on 1. Yeah, that seems right. Because, yeah, right now we need is a payoff. Though I guess second blade is a decent payoff, to be fair. But Mulligan's down to 6. And keep 6. Okay. Looks like they might have pre-game actions. Is it Zoo? Is it Eldrazi? It's Zoo. Okay. Draw. Throw the Burn Willows. Ancient Stirrings. And there's a second blade. I think I'm going to grab the E-Temp, though. For all intent and purpose, I already have 2 blades. We can Haywire out the ley line of the guild pack. That is a consideration. Huh. We'll play Saga next turn. See, I'm tempted to see if they play a Kavu without fetching. Would not be the first time that's happened, which would mean killing the ley line of Kavu on board would kill the Kavu, but they have a Steam Vent, so moot point. If they play a Ragavan, we'll play the Haywire Mite as a blocker. And Ragavan, yep, so we'll play the Haywire Mite as a blocker. A second Broodscale. Play Saga Trigger. Play the Haywire Mite. Again, mainly as a blocker here. I could play the Blade as well, but I'm going to refrain from doing so. And hold. Arena of Glory. Okay. Paying cost for. They're going to exert. I mean, if they exert a Sign of Draco, that is less than ideal, but fine. We'll still block the Ragavan. We'll get rid of the Leyline of the Guild Pack. That way it doesn't have tramples. They don't hit me. Less than ideal, but fine. Attack. To blocks. Block. And then might target Leyline of the Guild Pact. And pass and fall. I'll take the 4 down to 18. And draw. Emrakul. Okay. So we can do that. I can play an Eldrazi Temp. I can play Eldrazi Temp. We can obviously make a construct to block the Scion. Not the Scion, the Ragavan. That's fine. I can also play the Broodscale. Next turn, we'll have access to 2, 4, 5. Actually, that's enough. Yes, so I don't have to play the Broodscale, we can just play the Construct. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll just block the Ragavan, especially as they exerted. They're 1 mana short, or 1 mana behind now. So as long as I keep them off of white, then it could mean that they might not have access to binding. Obviously, they can hold up red for bolt, though. Combat. They might also forget that Ragavan... Okay, they didn't forget that Ragavan has first strike, unfortunately. I was hopeful. I will play, or make a construct. cards in hand, all of them unknown. Yep, construct down, take 4, down to 14. They have steam vents on top, untapped, so the only thing that right now I need to worry about is a bolt. Yeesh. Saga trigger float. I will grab a Blade of the Blood Chief. I'll play a Grove of the Birds. Float 2 and attempt to cast a Basking Broodscale. I mean, we should go for it at this point. We have a backup Basking Broodscale for next turn. If you have a bolt, you have a bolt. I'm going to equip. And then attempt to adapt. Do you have the bolt? You do not. Yes, always yield. Alright. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. Play a blade. Equip a blade. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and Bone Scoops it up. Alright, so this is Zoo. And for game 1, so we're going to want Wastegate Battle Mage, Dismember. I'm going to cut the Vexing Bauble, keep the Soul Guide, keep the Haywire Mite, cut 2 Ballista, Flesh Rake, and I guess well, actually we'll go a Rumble and run it back. All right. Trying to think if there's anything else. No, I don't think so. Yeah, almost like this is where like maybe the Ugin's lab plan of like an Allah's Dust could be good. Because we could always fire off an Allah's Dust, and that obviously clears their board underneath the ley line, which would be interesting. We will have to wait and see. Opponents, of course, going to bring in are going to bring in Consigned Memory, if not more. Some lists do run 1 copy of. They also run Clarion Conqueror, which does make Fire Spout tempting. The thing is, it just doesn't clear much of the Ragavan. I mean, we keep this, right? Yeah. Would love to see a E-Temp off top or a Halfling. Excuse me. Yeah, that would make the most sense. I will keep opponent mulligans. I'll pass. We'll use the Flesh Rake as a lightning rod. Granted that we can cast it on time. We have Dismember in case of a Ragavan. Speaking of, he's a Ragavan. Want to play around a Stubborn Denial, so we'll just hit that now. Play, Dismember, goodbye Ragavan, and pass. Would love to see an E-Temp once again. Wood Foothills. And... do they play a Kavu? It's a possibility. They can't play Sign of Draco. Alright, draw. Grove. I'll play Saga. Saga Trigger. Do we play the Blade? No reason to right now, I don't think. So in that case, I will pass in full. Opponent fetches for a Triumph or Surveil land. If they fetch for a Surveil land, it means they have another land in hand, most likely. If they fetch for a Triumph, they don't, but instead have a Scion or Kavu. Also, I guess a Leyline Binding is potential. Line Binding is such a good card. Very, very good card. Excuse me. Okay, so that means they likely don't have another land in hand. Instead, they want to play a Scion Draco, Kavu, or have a Binding in hand. I guess they could also have a Tribal Flames they just want to hit face with. That is a possibility. White. Could it be a Weretear? Clarion Conqueror? That's a bit annoying, but glad we didn't play the Blade. Otherwise, they would have been tempted the Weretear, not just Tear. That does make back a land, though, which is kind of rough. So again, we'd love to see an E-Temp off top. Draw. There's the E-Temp we were looking for. I can go a few different directions here. We can play a Flesh Raker and use that as the Lightning Rod. Let's do that. And see if it eats a Consign or Removal. If not, we'll start making spawns next turn. Actually, if not, we win next turn, right? Yes. Yes. Because we'll have 4, I guess 3 mana. There's Consign. Okay. That is fine. And pass. So that means K commands are payoff. 3 in hand. I'd be fine if they played a Scion here, because we have the Wastscape. Three in hand. Seems to be no land. So 3 potential actions. You play the Scion, will exile it. You play the Kavu, I'm tempted to exile it as well with the K command. White. Green, red, Kavu, leaving a blue. So it could be Consign. That would be a bit annoying. Could also be a Stubborn Denial. Either ways, it makes sense for us to cast this K command on their upkeep instead. So let's go to upkeep. And K command. Ramp and exile. And done. Do you have Stubborn Denial? Do you have Consign? You have neither or did not care for the Kavu. Okay. So in that case, holding up a red source could be a Bolt. Clarion Conqueror, Flage. Flage ETBs, triggers, and targets. Targets me. that's fine. So we draw into a payoff, we win. Draw. There's the game. Alright, cast Basking Broodscale. Cast Blade of the Blood Chief. Equip Blade. Trigger. Always yield. Always yes. Always yield. So now we're going to go to 18 MSUs 36, so we're going to go to 38 for Ballista. And this will be the win. And Bono has no reason to concede here. This is the last game of the match. If I do have the win, and I just need to present that I have something. I could always play the Ballista early, but I've done that in the past and opponents still have not cared, so I'm gonna just do this so I can play the Ballista. She's at about 38. That we have one counter left over, just on the off chance it's relevant. It shouldn't be. Alright. Again, I wish there was a button or an option like just use all when trying to cast for X. It would make life so much simpler. I mean, they have to see that the mana is ticking down here, so they clearly know I have something. It's either a K command or a Ballista. And 19, done. He's a Ballista. Remove target you. Remove target you. I should hold priority here so I can save the target. Save target. And always yield. And bones are two. Alright, solid win against Zoo. We'll be back for match number 5. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Let's take a look. It's looking good. I will keep. I'll play Grove. I'm looking for a land here, ideally. Ideally, a soul land would be good. Because turn 2, we're going to Rumble to set up for the Broodscale. So I guess if we're going to Rumble, I'm trying to remember here, mana-wise. 2. I guess we actually want to cast Blade here instead of Stirrings, actually. So I'll go Blade, pass. So yeah, we do need a land in order to make this work. Burning Catacombs, pass, draw. Urza Saga, there's our land. Good, good. Rumble. Double Saga, Halfling Devour, or I suppose we'll go for a Saga. And I will pass. So now it comes down to whether or not they hold up mana, which makes me think we should hold the Broodscale or not. Otherwise, we could just go for Saga Beats, Burning Catacomb, Fetch, Hedge Maze. Okay, Oculus is fine. I was really concerned this was Neobrand. I was going to get real concerned real quick. Alright, do you tap out? If you tap out, we at least get a Emrakul onto board. We might not win, but that's still pretty good. Windswept Teeth, you do not tap out. Okay. So in that case, we'll hold. one's tinkin'. Snow-covered forest. Okay. Why fetch that now? Weird. In that case, I will play Carplucin and pass. I mean, they don't have double blue. Oh, you know what? That's true. Hold up. They don't have double blue. Could they have consignment? Alright, well, now you have me thinking. Cast Basking Broodscale? What this? Ice Fang Quaddle? Sure. I'm fine with that. You have a subtlety? Oh. Interesting. Okay. I will Ancient Stirrings. There's Walking Ballista. It's a payoff. We already have another Saga. I'll grab the Ballista. I'll pass. Interesting. And pass. Ice Fang Quaddle into Flare. Huh. The Ice Fang replaced itself for all intent and purpose, so just pretty much Flare for 2 mana. Interesting. Coiling Oracle, so it seems to be a lot of ETB triggers. Sink in the Stupor to hand. Do you bolt in the sink? You do. Four. Spyglass Siren. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're short, I guess 10. So we're short of Emrakul though, bottom line. In that case, I will make a construct. Abhorrent Oculus. So you could go, we don't need another blade. We could Vexing Bauble, turns off the Flare of Denials. That's a consideration. We can also Soul Guide Lantern, but I doubt they're on an Earth, but I do think they're on Oculus. So maybe Soul Guide Lantern is right. Let's go Soul Guide. Soul Guide, eat, Ock. Play a Saga. Equip to the construct, or do you play a ballista? You could play a ballista. That's a consideration. You know what? We'll play a ballista. Done. Always yield. Because we can equip ballista and blade, then we're off to the races. And pass. So right now they can't get to Ock just yet. They're too short. Birthing Root. Well, that is a way they can get to Ock. Spyglass Siren. No attacks. Birthing Root. What you got? What does Birthing Root find? Does it find an Oculus? It does. Trigger. And draw. Trigger. Bauble. So, what I can do here is let's play the Grove of the Burnbows. I'm going to equip Blade to Ballista. I'm going to attack with a Construct. No attacks, or rather no blocks. I am going to, I think, crack the soul guide at this point. Sacrifice this artifact, exile your yard. Yeah, it seems right. We don't need another rock on board if I can help it. And I will pass. So we can always Besage you if needed. And Besage you the Birthing Writ. Right now we're just threatening to make another construct so we can block the manifest creature, I suppose. The combat. We'll take the 7. The thing is, using the Birthing Writ is pretty dangerous with the blade on board. So I might just let them, honestly. Blade Trolls. There's Ice Fang. You draw a card. That's fine. Make a construct. Trigger. This is going to get really interesting because of the Walking Ballista. Draw. And there's a Haywire Mite. Going to make another construct. And then we're going to grab another blade. I'm going to equip another blade to Walking Ballista. You have interaction. Because regardless, I can ping down the Quaddle, the Spyglass Siren, and then a manifest creature. Is that a Besage you? Sink in the Stupor. So in that case, we still can ping down the Quaddle. Ping down the Spyglass Siren. Oh, I guess I could have pinged you for one. Play Besage you. Play a Haywire Mite. And go to combat. Yeah, I should have pinged you for one, because then it would have forced you to have blocked. Unfortunate. Block. So you still block, so same deal. And I'll pass. 5, 9, 10. No, 5, 9. We already have an artifact in yard. They're forced to block next turn. So even if they were to counter the Ballista, they have to be careful here. Because these constructs are going to get pretty big. You'll have at least 2 blockers attacking the Oc. Is that another Oculus? Looks like it might be. Yes. Do you attack in? Dangerous game. So I'm down to 7. Birthing Writ. So this actually gets really interesting now because it's Vexing Bauble. Probably should have played the Bauble over the Might in retrospect. I think we can make this work. Do you sacrifice a manifest creature or an Oc? I'm not sure if you have anything above 3. If you do, I'm not sure what it would be. I choose not to. Oculus trigger. And Oculus trigger. Shardless Agent. Huh. Draw. Karplusin. Cast Vexing Bauble. One, 2, and cast Ballista. Equip to Ballista. Equip to Ballista. You have to block every single one of these constructs. And if you block the Haywire Mite, funny enough, that gives me more damage than if you take it. Block, block, and block. Yeah, you shouldn't block the Mite. Down to 6 triggers. And that should do it. And phone skips it up. Alright. Oculus. Win for game 1. Let's move this sideboard. So we want Grafdigger's Cage. Vexing Bauble still seems good. Soul Guide Lantern still seems good. Haywire Mite seems a bit kind of mid. Wayscape seems decent. It gets rid of the Birthing Writ, though it won't be able to bounce as easily. Birthing Writ, or Dismember seems decent. So let's see what we can cut. I guess the question is getting rid of the Birthing Ritual worth it alone? Maybe. Maybe we don't bring in the Wasescape and instead just keep the second Ballista. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, let's do it that way. We want the Soul Guide. Haywire Mite's relevant. We could always cut that as well. But having something to get rid of the Birthing Writ could be interesting. Bauble's relevant, as we saw with the Flare of the Nile. So, I think this makes sense. Simic Oc. Oh. And I've played against something similar before where they're using Neoform instead of Birthing Writ. On the draw, I mean, we have the Broodscale, we have the Blade, we have E-Temps. I'll keep, I'll pass. And draw. I'm gonna play a Bauble. And pass. No free counter spells for you. Unless you counter this, in which case I'm okay with that. Consign it, be my guest. Misty Rain. it sticks unless you have a force. It's a card on top and still thinking. Would love to see a Flesh Raker. There's a force. Pitching a Harbinger. Love to see it. So that worked out well for me. Could play Broodscale here. Double blue makes me a bit hesitant. K command. We'll use that as permission. They could play an Ice Fang Quaddle. So we can use the K command here and force check again. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna ramp Scry Draw. And done. Force check. No force. We do have Dismember Stirrings. Dismember Stirrings is interesting because they're afraid of a free spell. We can dismember the Quaddle. I'm going to top and draw and pass. I'll draw a card. And I'm gonna hold here. They play like a Birthing Writ, we can dismember it. Attack for 1. What does this say? I feel like it has more text. This creature has Death Touch if you have 3 snow permanents. That makes sense. Breeding Pool, shock, or tap. Shock. Birthing Writ. In response. Actually, oh, we can do in response to trigger. End step, trigger. Dismember. Sack. So no free spells for you. You could still consign with the Breeding Pool up. It does raise the concern of like, why did you shock in the Breeding Pool, right? So I can do a few things here. So we have a forest. I can't go off the Broodscale this turn. In that case, I'm gonna Ancient Stirrings. There's another blade. There's also a Grafdigger's Cage, which is really tempting. But I think the blade will warrant a response. And having a backup blade is good. Blade. Do you have a consign? No. No consign. Play a second blade. And we'll pass. And pass. Okay, that makes things interesting. So why bolt in or shock in the Breeding Pool then? Oh. Windswept. Fetch 13. Snow covered. Harbinger. That's fine. They have 1 island up. I doubt that they Birthing with the Harbinger. So do they have a free spell or a consign? Basically, do they have interaction? If they don't, then we'll make 1,000,000 tokens that are 1,000,000,000 power toughness. For the Burn Willows, cast Basking Broodscale. Equip to Broodscale. Blue. Dismember. Brutal. Yes, that resolves. Triggers always yield. I guess we did see this member earlier. Equip to the spawn, no reason not to, and then I'll pass. And pass. 1 card in hand. Still 1 card. Attack to the Harbinger. Sure. I'm okay with this. You sacrifice the Harbinger to Writ. That explains why they held up a mana. Those 2 turns, they had to dismember. Interesting. They had Dismember main, which was fascinating. Draw. Devour of Destiny. Unfortunately, we're short on Devour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually need one colorless source. I will equip Blade to spawn, and then pass. No reason not to. Just not a lot of chance that they want to use the Birth and Rip. Attack for 2, down to 11, but has 2 cards in hand. Closing the gap. There's Ice Fang. Draws a card. Do you activate Birthing Root? If you do, at the very least, I get a blocker out of it. I can block the Harbinger. Alright. So imagine I'm going to see a Auk. Yep. Trigger. And draw. There's the halfling. There is the other color source that I'm looking for. Those halfling resolve. Play a Carthusian. And I'm going to equip a blade to the halfling. And equip another blade to the halfling. Alright, we'll pass. Oof. So I'm not dead yet, but I am at 1. Now the problem, of course, is that I can only exile 1 Auk with the Devourer. End step, Writ. Yeah, that's less than ideal. Auk 1, Auk 2. Draw. Stirrings. I'll cast Stirrings. The Stirrings resolve. There's Broodscale, but I can't cast Broodscale. I have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X3, I can K command. We can K command, then do what? Is the question. I can ramp exile Harbinger, which allow me to then play a Devourer, but then I only get rid of Harbinger and an Auk. So that's not enough. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I don't get rid of Harbinger, then I can't play Devourer. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 types in Yard. So if we go X equals 5 and dig, what then? I can do what? Find Emrakul. Emrakul doesn't do anything. We don't have enough mana. We can... What do I bring in from my sideboard? I don't think anything from my sideboard would help me here to get out of the situation. Damn. Yeah, another green source would get me the Broodscale. Yeah, just not gonna work out the way I want it to. 9. Oh, hold on. Oh, but we have to tap the halfling. Shoot. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exile, Harbinger. No, the halfling would only go up to 3 tough or 3 power. So close, but so far away. Yeah, if you had another color source, then maybe. You can't play the Broodscale. Basagi does nothing. Saga does nothing. Fleshwaker does nothing. K command does something, but not enough. So I think I concede. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything out of my sideboard. No, I don't think I am. Damn. Okay, I'll concede. Rough. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did we have an out? No, we did not. I will cut the gemstone. I will cut or reintroduce a Malevolent Rumble. Yeah. Okay. So close, but so far away. On the play for game 3. I will keep this. This is a very solid hand. We'll use Flesh Rake as bait. I'll play the Blade. Actually, do we want to play the Blade early? It might be beneficial to do so, just to avoid a free counterspell. I'll say they have a force, they have a force. No force. We'll pass. Misty Rain. Pass, draw. E-temp. Second Broodscale is really good. We could play Broodscale, actually. There's also a thought to playing K-Command X1, making a spawn and trying to find a land. Ooh. I think using this as permission might be better. Yeah, using the K-Command as permission might be better. Like, then again, if I draw into another land... Okay, so let's go for the Broodscale here. Let's see if we get a consign. Pass. Resolves. Oh no. Okay. So we just need a land then. If we find a land, we can win next turn. Flare to yard, so Flare is late. Interesting. Snow covered. Oracle. Harbinger. Harbinger is late to the party. We draw. A second blade. Second blade doesn't get me there, unfortunately. So, I mean, our safest thing that we can do right now is to probably just go for an adapt. Either that or just play the second Broodscale. I think we just adapt. Always yes, always yield. One of these days I'm going to press always no. Unfortunately, no second land, so I will attack. It doesn't have Death Touch. And pass. And if they have no interaction, we win. Even if they play the Harbinger, that's fine. Damn, if only we had a land. We had 3 payoffs, so no matter what, we should have gotten there. Playing Harbinger is fine. Playing Besaju's fine. Calling Oracle's fine. Sync, late. I suppose you could attempt to consign. Yeah, you attempt to consign the trigger. Oh, but there's a ballista. That makes it interesting. So, I can do a few things. I will go to equip the blade. Sack, trigger. I don't think there's any way out. You can consign the trigger or consign the Broodscale. Okay. So let's just start here by playing a second blade and equipping the second blade. So now we are making infinite tokens. I'll play the Flash Rake. And Bone Script. Solid win against Simic Oculus. Alright. Not bad at all. So that there will get us a 3-2 record at the end of 5 for Basking Broodscale this week. So pretty decent result for Basking Broodscale. Cannot complain with it. Trying to think if there's really anything that I can kind of take away from this. We played against some weird lists today. The only two what I consider meta decks would probably be Eldrazi Tron and Zoo. Even this version of Oculus I would not say is meta, definitely a bit more casual. But it's interesting. I do like seeing variations of established archetypes. I think it is always important to experiment and try new things. And this definitely seems interesting. But yeah, Zoo and Eldrazi Tron, solid wins there. Our only losses were to Rakdos, Delirium, and Academy Manufacturer, which that deck was wild. Time Sieve? Never thought I'd see that being played. But always fun to see unique brews like that. But that being said, that there will be the end of today's video and the last video for Basking Broodscale this week, unless you guys do really enjoy this video and do share it out, do watch it. The way that I'm determining my decks that I play on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that I record for the following days is going to be based on viewership. So I'm either thinking of doing one of two things, either like the most viewed video for that deck. I'll play all 3 of those days. So like last week, the most viewed video for the week was Eldrazi Tron. So I went with Eldrazi Tron for those 3 days. Alternatively, I could do it like a first, second, third. Basically, we have 4 archetypes that I'm rotating through right now. We have Basking Broodscale, Eldrazi Aggro, Eldrazi Ramp, and Eldrazi Tron. So the other thought is that for those 3 days, the deck with the most views gets 1 extra video, then the second one, then the third one, right? So, it might be we get 2 videos of Basking Broodscale, of Eldrazi Tron, and Eldrazi Ramp. So that's kind of my thought process right now, trying to give you guys more of what you're clearly enjoying and what you're watching. So let me know down in comments what you think. Do you want it to be where the most viewed deck gets 3 extra videos, or where we, get kind of just 2 extra videos of the 3 most viewed? So the 4th one gets kind of just 1, where the other 3 get 2. So that's also consideration. There's also the thought of, I guess, the third option, which would be the first most viewed video gets 2 extra videos, and then the second one gets 1. So that's also a consideration. Either ways, I kind of like this idea. The idea overall is just giving you guys more of what you enjoy, while I also get to continue to test my decks that I'm considering for RC Vegas in November. Right now, the 3 contenders really are going to be Eldrazi Ramp, Eldrazi Tron, and Basking Broodscale. It comes down to the meta. Between now and then, it's really going to be hard to say because we have Edge of Eternities releasing tomorrow on Moto. And then we have Spider-Man coming out not too long after. Jesus. And then before RC Vegas, there's also Avatar The Last Airbender, which may be released in time for it to be legal during RC Vegas. I'm hoping they don't make it legal, but we'll have to wait and see. But
Regardless, I'll end my idle prattling there. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback would be much appreciated. For as much as I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached a point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. I think last time I looked, we are 83 subscribers away. And once we reach that goal, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allow me to start saving up towards a stream PC, so I'm going to stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!